Hello everybody, King Natty Reviews here, and today we're going to be talking about the Sawamura and Muto fight versus Kyoranki, basically Haruken and Oshima. Now, this fight I really like, bro. Like, up to now, it's probably the most hype I've been for a fight. Like during a fight, most hype I've been. It was so good. Like, so I'm pretty much gonna go over, Muto versus Haruken, how that went, Oshima versus Saramura, how that went, and basically why this fight was important and why and what it did for the series. Just moving forward. So yeah, let's get right into it. So a bit of background before the fight. Right now, Kyoranki is in a guerrilla warfare with Kilihito, and they have the upper hand. Like I'll keep it honest, they have the upper hand. Keigo is kind of doing his own thing, so Keigo's been missing, and Taguchi's been kicked out. Meguro left, so that's that's most their guys. Top guy just gone, and it's Saramura and Muto. They're not leaders, like they're not part of the leadership. They're basically goons. So they're stressed out because like the higher ups are like just nowhere to be found, and then their Kyoranki is attacking everybody. So Saramura is stressed out, and he's like, okay, like I'm gonna just tell things about what happened with Kyorin and me and Taguchi, so we can bring Taguchi back in. So they're still thinking about how to kind of solve that issue. Then they get snuck by Haruken. Haruken goes with a bat about to attack Muto, but Muto gets like a lucky little kick, and then kind of pushes him back, and then that's when like the fighting starts. So the sequence to what led to like the individual 1v1s was, first off, they were just confused that why Kyoranki was going after them instead of the leadership, and then they end up finding out that they wanted to attack Muto, Konami's right hand, to bring out Konami and then attack him. So they're like, okay, they're just using us to get to the leadership. And so after finding that out, Haruken doesn't want people joining into the 1v1. He's like, nah, like we could just jump Muto and win here, but nah, like he hit me, so I want to beat him one-on-one and punish him. And then Saramura pulls out a knife, and then him and his boys, and then they start swinging. But he gets one shot by Haruken. Haruken just one hit, Saramura goes flying, and I'm just thinking, wow, like we are not gonna win this. And then Muto, he struggles to kind of land a good hit on Haruken, and then just ends up tackling him. And then while Haruken's on the floor, Muto's on top of him. Oshima comes in with like a bat about to take out Muto. Then Saramura attacks Oshima and says, "Nah, you're fighting me." And then this would set up the individual 1v1s: Haruken versus Muto and Saramura versus Oshima. So they start off with Saramura kind of like trying to hit Oshima. Oshima's a top boxer, bro. Like he's not getting hit by Saramura in a fist fight, so he's just dodging it easy. Like, yo, like you're not set to be a delinquent. Like I don't know what you're doing. And then they jump back and forth between Muto and Saramura, and then with Muto we see that he has Haruken under him, and then he has the advantage, so he's laying hits on them, and the Haruken, even in that disadvantage, is still fighting back. And in that position, you're not really supposed to like punch hard because of like you're facing upward, gravity's against you, all that. But Haruken still hits hard, and the Muto just shocked. And then in order to not be overwhelmed, Muto ends up attacking him back, but by squeezing his ears, and then now they both like fall back, and then Muto sees a knife. And then he gets tempted. He's like, hey, should I use it? Should I use it? Haruken's like, yeah, pick up that knife. Like, you're gonna need it to face me. And then Muto, he's still thinking about it. And then we get a Muto flashback, which ended up really good. Muto flashback. Now, I really like this flashback. And nice short little flashback. Did the job. So, basically what the flashback was saying was that Muto kept trying to attack Konami with a weapon. And Konami said he just wasn't scared. Like he said Muto is most likely using the weapon just for intimidation. He doesn't really intend to use it. And he said Muto actually might be scared to use it. And one of the reasons that Muto hasn't really been in a fight with a weapon, against a weapon, so he himself doesn't know when to, how far he can go with one, how to actually use one. And he said another reason that Muto doesn't have the switch that allows him to burst into like emotional rage, like 1/10 of a second, and kind of reject the opponent's character, And he says Tenzawa has that switch, and then he can use it anytime he wants, and that's like a talent. But then he tries to console Muto. He's like, hey, like, don't even trip because you keep challenging us with like just guts and spirit alone, and that's like impressive. And he was saying that when Muto first came attacking them, Konami was far more scared than now that Muto's always bringing a weapon. And then Konami is like, hey, you're way stronger without a weapon than you are with one. And then Muto remembering those words, gets the resolve to actually fight Harukian. He's like, hey, like, I'm stronger. I'm not going to use that weapon. I'm stronger with just my bare hands. And then, yeah, he gets his spirit back. And what I really liked about that is because Muto has been kind of fighting his, like, I won't say insecurities, but after he lost to Kenzo, and then Tenzawa was like, yeah, I won't put you to fight Kenzo because you don't have that factor. And then Muto's always been kind of wondering what that factor was. Was it just the will to kill? Was it, so he was going through that. And then this fight kind of helped him get like a sneak peek on what exactly he needed to really go that next level. And as we end up seeing, he does go that level. So that was really good. And then we actually move on to Sawamura and what is going on with him and Oshima. So with the Sawamura fight, man, this got me hyped, son. Cause like, so he keeps fighting Oshima, and then Oshima's like, dog, you must be the lowest caste of Kilihito. You must be bottom of the barrel. Like, why are you even a delinquent? You're not cut out for it. Like, I'm too good. And then Saramura gets a flashback with him and Taguchi, and Taguchi scolding him for fighting someone like big barehanded. So he's just like, why are you fighting barehanded? That dude's so big. And then he said, stop trying to be cool, stop trying to, send of that. You're not as big as Konami, you're not as smart as Tenzawa, you don't have reflexes like Keigo or Muto. Like, know your own limitations. And he says, we're delinquents, like, why are we trying to play like we're some honorable people, and then he goes on and on about how delinquents, they have nothing going for them. We're in the bottom of the barrel. Society don't care about them. And he's saying that Saramura only cares about, like, the reason why he doesn't want to use a weapon is because he gets cold feet. Because he's thinking of his future outside of Kilihito, and he doesn't want to go to jail. And he's just like, nah, like, we're bottom of the barrel. Like, even if you quit Kilihito, your life's still gonna be trash. Like, that's just how we are. That's just how we live. Like, society don't care about us, so we're stuck in our own delusion. We try to act more important than we are. And Taguchi was spitting, bro. Like, he was really spitting bars here. And then he's telling Saramura that, like, hey, like, don't think about all that extra stuff. Like, how you live now in Kilihito determines on how you live later. So, stop with the cold feet, all of that. And Saramura's like, dang, like, so what about you? Like, what will you do? And then, I mean, do you not care? And he said, nah, like, I'm a bad boy for life. Like, I know what I signed up for when I joined the game. And then Saramura just like, wow, like, this guy is something else. And then after remembering that, he's like, you know what? Let me stop trying to be scared about, going to jail and none of that. So he grabs a bat and just swings, bro. Like, it's insane because full power swing. If Oshima didn't duck, he was gone. And then he says, I'm gonna kill you, bro. Like, so these are goons of Kilihito saying this, bro. Like, after that, I was like, yo, this fight is it. So then we move on to, like, the second part of the fight. Then we're going to see how Saramura takes out Oshima, and he's, even with a bat, it's not like you're just magically going to become like some god. So Saramura's still taking hits, but he's swinging, taking hits. And Oshima didn't want no help. He said, nah, like, leave this to me. He thinks he's nice. And then while he's taking hits, Saramura ends up with a final, like he gets hit, and then he ends up like swinging towards the leg as he got hit, and completely, like, graphic warning, bro, like, knocked his like legs, like his main leg bone, just out of place. So Oshima's out for the count, like, falling down. Of course, he's a boxer too, so he did it with him on, like, boxers with weak legs. And yeah, so Oshima, the way the bone was, that was something else, bro. So Saramura with the bat, like, that dude's a menace. And then we go back to Muto. And then now with Muto, he just laying it hard on Haruken, and then Haruken ends up losing all the nails Yoshiki gave him, and then that made Haruken mad. Then now it's Haruken's turn. He starts laying on Muto bad, and then he made a swing way too wide, and then Muto saw it come in, deflected it with his arm, got him in a triangle chokehold, and then with the triangle chokehold, he was just trying to like end it there, but Haruken was strong enough and had a big enough body that he just got up, was gonna slam Muto, but Muto like added to the acceleration and then ends up like going in like a circle and then reversing it on Haruken and then gaps his arm in like a chokehold. Graphic warning, bro. The way that arm bent, oh my god, son. Ugh. But yeah, he's not using that arm anytime soon, bro. Like he just cracked the hell out of that arm. And then yeah, Haruken is done for. And it was Saramura to kind of end his fight after Oshima's on the floor. He goes the bat and he's like, sorry mama, like I'm a bad boy. And then goes to swing and then like he hits it like extremely hard. Like everyone's just flinching because they're not trying to see someone's brain just flatter. And then he missed it, you know, on purpose because you know he's under Taguchi, so they do play like these kind of tricks. And then he's like, that's the notorious flying column bluff. And then you see Oshima just thought he died, so he pissed his pants. Like, how Saramura makes someone piss their pants, bro? Like, that was just embarrassing. So after they both won, they're both like, wow, like we actually won. And then they compliment their teachers, you know, like Muto's like, saying, hey, we're lucky that we had people to kind of like nurture our talent and stuff like that. And that's pretty much how the fight ended. So let's go to the main takeaways. So the main takeaways is that nurturing talent is important. Like Kyoranki recruited Oshima and Haruken, but Muto and Saramura were raised under Kaname and Taguchi. So when they matched up, it was kind of like, okay, do you just recruit strong people, or like do you raise or nurture talent to like fight, and then which one comes out on top? And then the fact that Muto and Saramura came out on top shows that Kilihito's leadership is really, really good. Like these guys, like they know what they're doing. Kaname and Taguchi, of course, were boosted as good leaders. They give good advice. Leaders, they know how to kind of pick up someone younger and make them stronger. So that was really good. And I also really liked how Muto's reasoning for not using the weapon was way different than Saramura's reasoning for not using the weapon, and how Muto not using a weapon wasn't off some real men don't use weapons, because Saramura and Taguchi they completely rejected that idea. So I like how there are very, very different ways you can look at you can look at fights in the series, and there are many different ideologies even within Kilihito. Taguchi's a very sneaky, he's probably what a real delinquent kind of is, when it comes to snaking and all that, whereas Kaname is more, upfront, one-on-one, cares for people. So I like seeing that. And also, it's also a very, very big deal that the goons, right, basically the non-leadership of Kilihito is putting in work like this, because we all know the leadership of Kilihito is strong. Meguro, Taguchi, Kaname, Keigo, Tenzawa, these guys are strong. But what about everyone else? So having people under the leadership be this strong or grow to be this strong is important, because later down the line we're definitely going to need more people than just those 5 to put in work. And then to have an arc that shows Saramura and Muto shine like this gives everyone hope that, okay, like the other members most likely are going to shine too, that aren't part of the leadership. Of course, you see that later on of like Mangoku and Kenshin. Great. I love my group, bro. Kilihito's nice. They're nice. And I said this, but yeah, with nurturing talent, I also like that too, because we also kind of started with Ikaku Meguro, right? Ikaku kind of nurtured and like raised Meguro, same guard squad, and Meguro ended up stronger. So having important like teachers is important in the series. Having really good teachers is important, I meant to say. So and of course with Kaname and Taguchi just being boosted, that was really good to see. The leadership in Kilihito, having them be not only good in battles but good teachers, that's just good for the group in general. So yeah, main takeaways would be those three. You know, nurturing talent is important. Kaname and Taguchi, great characters. And having like the non-leadership be as strong as they are, that's good too, because that leads to a lot of good scenes we got later on. I mean, that set up a lot of good scenes we got later on. So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'll catch y'all later. See ya. Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me.